Welcome back, everyone. It's been a little while since I've done a video. Check out my last video if you haven't seen it yet. I talked about my experiences with anxiety, depression, and obsessive compulsive disorder. And this one here is a video I've been thinking about doing for a while now. I am a former smoker. That's right. I have been asked like dozens of times, how did I quit smoking? Because I smoked for quite a while. And I was up to between 2 and 3 packs a day. That's right. 2 and 3 packs a day. I was a chain smoker, like constantly. I had like the nicotine stained fingers, cough all the time. Near the end of the time I quit, it was so bad that my first cigarette of the day, I would cough so much, my throat hurt so much that I'd actually like vomit. I'd throw up. That's how bad it hurt. But then, for some reason, I kept smoking. Like, oh, this next cigarette won't be as bad. You know what I mean? I just kept doing it. I don't know why. I had quit before. I quit at one point for 16 months. I hated smoking, so it was relatively easy to do. Well, not easy, but a little bit easier because I hated it. And I ended up getting a job at a call center, where people call in for help with their internet services. Horrible job. Like, I ended up getting stressed out because 95% of your calls were people yelling at you for stuff you had nothing to do with. And I don't deal well with being cursed and yelled at all day. The stress ended up getting to me, so I bummed a cigarette from a coworker, thinking, just this one. I took a break, went out for a cigarette, it's like, and I missed it. And I ended up like thinking I could smoke this one and that's gonna be it, but I was wrong. I ended up bumming a cigarette from a different coworker later that night. Then I bought a pack of cigarettes on the way home. And by the time I went to work the next day, that entire pack was gone already. And then I knew, like, shit, I was back in it again. So, I smoked again for like, I don't know, a few years anyway. I don't remember exactly how long it was, but it was a few years. At least a few years. Smoking 2-3 packs a day. Till the point come where the problem was, like I said, when I quit that time I hated it. This time I loved it. I still coughed up my first cigarette of the day to the point where I was throwing up. No getting around that. It still happened. Hate it, but it's true. So I do wonder now, like, why did I fight through it? Why did I even finish that one cigarette? But I did. I'm foolish. That's right, I'm foolish. Then, I tried a bunch of different things over the years to quit smoking. I did. I tried the Nicorette gum. I tried the nicotine patches. At one point, I even tried hypnosis. That's right, I tried hypnosis. It didn't do anything for me. I'm not saying hypnosis doesn't work. I can't vouch for that. Because when I did it, it was like a class seminar. There was like 50 of us in a room. And someone standing at the front of the classroom trying to get me to concentrate. And maybe it was one-on-one. It may have helped a little bit better. But in my experience, it didn't help at all. So, I'm not here disparaging hypnosis. It might work for someone else. In my situation, in a classroom setting, it did not help. So, tried a bunch of stuff. I got to the point, like, of frustration. Trying to quit smoking. Because I tried it, I'd go, like, a day. Maybe, at the most, a day. It's like, oh, I can't do it anymore. So, I decided, I'm going to try something. Heather went out. She bought me the nicotine patches. I started with step 1. There's 3 steps. Now, throughout this entire process, I was wearing a patch. It says 3 weeks. I wore it for like 7. Like, step 1 was the highest dose. I started with that. I'm going to be honest, I still smoked while I was wearing the patches. I'm not going to lie about that. It says not to, but I did. And then step 2 was a little bit lower nicotine. I wore that for a week, still smoking. I wore step 3, which is the lowest dose. I wore that probably for about 6 or 7 weeks. Even though it says a week. And I was still smoking. So, The nicotine patches alone didn't help me smoke. But what I did, this is where it gets interesting, I guess. Everyone keeps asking me about it. I took a piece of paper. I got an example here. I took a piece of paper. I wrote down what time I woke up right here. I'd actually write down. I put Friday because today's Friday. It's an example. I'd write down the time I woke up. Say 9:30 a.m. What time did I have my first cigarette? And then every time I had a cigarette, I'd write it down. And when I first started doing this, I'd have 2 columns for each day because I was smoking about 50 cigarettes a day. And then I looked, trying to find not really a pattern, but I realized, okay, I woke up at 9:30. I had my first cigarette at like 9:32. So the next day, I'd write Saturday. And then each day I'd try and get rid of 1 cigarette. Like wait a little bit longer before I had it. As soon as I lit up a cigarette, I wrote down the time. No matter where I was. And it went on like that. Each day I try and get rid of a cigarette. Wait a little bit longer. Like when I woke up in the morning, I'd wait another minute, let's say. Like see if I can wait an extra 5 minutes, then I'll have my cigarette and write it down. And if you do that, when I did it, I realized I had my first cigarette right away. Then I had my second cigarette like half an hour later. If I waited 5 minutes before I had my first cigarette, then I'd wait an extra 5 minutes for my second cigarette, so on and so forth. So then my last cigarette of the day, like when I went to bed, it would cut 1 out each day. Every day I'd cut 1 out. Because if I waited a little bit longer, like say if I was awake for 14 hours, I fit 50 cigarettes in there. Then I waited an extra 5 minutes for each one. It equals out, so there's a little bit less. And I did that honestly. Like I wrote that down. Holy, I'd say like 2-3 months. I went writing down every time I had a cigarette, what time I woke up. It got to the point, like, it took a few weeks, I'm going to be honest, like 2 or 3 weeks before all my cigarettes fit in 1 column in a day. Then I put the line there, Saturday, do it all again. So on and so forth. It took me a while. It took me 6 or 7 weeks to the point where I was only writing down 1 cigarette a day. But I still carried that paper with me. Like, this paper, I'd have the paper. Obviously, I can't carry it like this, so I'd fold it up. Put it in my jacket pocket with a pen. Of course, you need a pen to write it down. And I carried it around with me. Until the paper got full, it got beat to shit. This little piece of paper, I'd carry it around everywhere I went. People were constantly asking me, like, what are you doing? Because everywhere I went, like, sure, you look kind of ridiculous, I guess. Go light a cigarette, pull out a piece of paper and a pen and write down the time. But I did it. And I'm not going to lie to you, I found that is the only thing that's ever really helped me quit. That worked for me. I'm not saying this would work for everybody, but if you are smoking out there and you want to quit, why not try it? Why not give it a try? Just write down the time you wake up. Like the first day or so, I'd say just smoke like you normally would. That's right. Smoke like you normally would. What time did I wake up? First cigarette, second, all the way down, with however many you have. And then the next day, try and wait an extra minute or so before you have that first cigarette. And then try and wait an extra minute for the second cigarette. Stuff like that. Keep on going. And eventually, if you stick with it without really thinking too much about it, you will eventually find that you have drastically cut back how much you're smoking a day. Because I tried to quit cold turkey, smoking 2 packs a day, and that shit wasn't happening at all. But once I got down to 1 cigarette a day, one day I just woke up, didn't put on the patch, didn't think about it, haven't smoked since. And it has been almost 5 years. It's been almost 5 years since I carried this piece of paper around with me, and since I've touched a cigarette. The nicotine on my fingers are gone. My sense of smell has come back a bit. I'm not going to lie and say it has completely. I have pretty bad sinuses anyway. I assume my sense of taste has come back, stuff like that. I don't cough nearly as much as I used to, unless I'm sick, whereas before I'd be coughing just from sitting here like this. So, I know a couple people that quit smoking and like a month in, they're like, I don't feel any better, it doesn't seem to be worth it. Like, give it time. If you smoked for like 30 years, you're not going to repair everything in like a couple months. It takes a long time to build that up. Get out, go for a walk, build up your lungs some more, which I honestly, I still have to do. I'm on my feet all day at work, blistering heat, but not steady enough to really build it up. But anyway, that's not the point. So, to all those people that have asked how I quit smoking, honestly, that's how I did it. That's it. Like, I urge anybody out there smoking, give it a try. What do you have to lose? Just carry around a pen, piece of paper, write down every day. Be honest with yourself, too. Like, that's a big part of it. Because I remember when I was doing it, people would ask me, like, why not just not write down one of your cigarettes? And it looks like, no, that's not going to help me. Be honest with yourself, too. When I first started doing it, like, literally every 12 minutes, I was writing the time down because I was having a cigarette, like, every 12, 13 minutes, stuff like that. And I was honest about it. And that's when I realized exactly how much I was smoking. It was a lot. So, I wrote it down, kept track, every damn cigarette I had it had to have been close to 6 months I did it. Just to be honest with myself and make sure. Once I went like a couple of months without having a cigarette, I still carried around a piece of paper just in case. Probably don't have to do that, but I'm kind of paranoid like that. I figure as soon as I stop carrying that paper around, I'm going to be tempted. I even kept a pack of cigarettes with one cigarette left in it just in case. Because I always found when I was a smoker, I don't know who else feels this way, like, have a pack of cigarettes. As soon as I'm about to run out, like, you get in panic mode, like, oh god, I gotta go buy cigarettes. So I figure I didn't want to risk that, so I kept that pack with that one cigarette in it. I probably had it for close to 2 years before I finally got rid of it. So that's how I quit smoking, people. As odd as it is, the people that worked with me when I started working where I am would know about this piece of paper if they were out with me in the smoking areas. Because designated smoking area, I'd have this piece of paper right down the time. They know all about it. So, that's how I quit, everybody. For all those people asking, for all those people right now struggling to quit smoking, try it. If you do try it, let me know in the comments below. If you're gonna try it, let me know. I want to hear your success stories, your false attempts. I'm not gonna call them failures because quitting smoking is one of the hardest things I have ever done in my life. It wasn't easy at all. So let me know your stories, and I hope you give it a try if you are smoking. Why not quit and make yourself a healthier person? Till next time, thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate you listening to me. I'll try not to wait as long until my next video. Thanks for watching.